Hey, I had my final appointment with the surgical team that did my heart surgery about 6 weeks ago, and basically was given a clearance to just resume activities as tolerated, no restrictions, but essentially don't do anything stupid. So Garrett's leaving today. Give him the same advice. Just remember those DDAS, don't do anything stupid. It's easy to do out there in the world. One quality it seems to be reflecting on, comes up over and over again, or it's come up over and over again in the past several days, weeks, is just the quality of listening carefully, both outwardly and inwardly. A lot of miscommunications happen out in the world with family, friends, colleagues, fellow monastics. And it's so easy to react in the moment and jump to conclusions or swim around in confusion and reactivity based on that confusion, based on unclear communication and a lot of projection and suppositions that we make in the world of relationship. So just to really step back and give ourselves and everybody lots of space. Communication is difficult, even in the best of worlds, even when we're being very clear and aware and present. It can be very tricky and confusing. So to just give lots of space when we're listening to people and just listen, just open up and listen, that in itself gives a lot of psychological space to people. So if there's some confusion or conflict or disagreement, just stopping, turning towards somebody, giving them space, listening, not rushing off to the next thought, the next conclusion, the wish to get your 2 cents in worth, to answer or to move on. Just open and be still, and be still inwardly too, not letting the mind race on in some kind of important interaction, but just absorbing and not holding on, but not ignoring, not dismissing. And then just realizing that it's not always, in fact, it's very rarely what we think it is that's going on. If we're suffering some confusion, oftentimes we make assumptions about another person's motive or where they're coming from, or sort of that they're intending some sort of harm in some way. And to just realize that that's all an inner process of our own. We don't need to believe that. We don't need to buy into that. We need to just step back and say, okay, well, that's the internal reaction to these external words, and I don't have to trust that any more than I'm believing in the external source. So just to allow time for things to change and morph, which they will do. And then if we need to respond at some point, then we're engaging in responding rather than reacting. So I think that's an important concept to keep in mind and to incorporate in our daily practice, our daily communications, and our daily inner reflections, is allow that kind of broad space of mind to allow ourselves an appropriate response rather than an immediate reaction. And that way we bring a lot more spaciousness and allowance for things to arise and pass away without creating lots of new karma around it, without sending the mind out and creating a whole new world of karma that we have to then live out. So being careful, but being spacious, and just maintaining that quality of listening. I'll leave that for this morning's reflection.